Welcome to the Exposure Magazine podcast from the heart of the British nuclear test survivor community.
Hello, and welcome to our podcast for the nuclear community. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a story published in autumn 2025 that might not have made front-page headlines, but speaks volumes about how seriously this government is taking veterans' affairs. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you saw a government department handle a leadership change with genuine care and strategic thinking? Not often, I'd wager. But something rather remarkable has happened at the Ministry of Defence, and it's worth our attention. This is the story of two ministers, both veterans of Afghanistan, both dedicated to serving those who've served. This is about continuity, credibility, and a maturing approach to veteran welfare that gives us reason for cautious optimism. Let's wind back to July 9th, 2024. Picture this. You've just been elected as an MP. You're still finding your way around Westminster, working out where the loos are, probably. And then, just 5 days after taking your seat, you're handed one of the most sensitive ministerial portfolios in government. Veterans Affairs. That's exactly what happened to Carns. Now, you might think that's madness. Too much, too soon. But here's the thing. Carns wasn't your typical rookie MP. This is a man who earned the Military Cross for his service in Afghanistan, a former Royal Marines colonel who'd led men and women in combat. When he walked into that ministerial office, he didn't need a briefing pack to understand what veterans face. He'd lived it, and that matters. In Veterans Affairs, credibility isn't just useful, it's essential. You can't blag it. You can't learn it from a policy document. You either understand the culture, the challenges, the unspoken struggles, or you don't. Carns did. The Nuclear Community Charity Fund, the NCCF, worked closely with him during his tenure. Their assessment, his legacy, even achieved in a short time, was profound across our community of veterans. Think about that. Profound. That's not the word you use for someone who's just keeping the seat warm. That's the word you use when someone makes a genuine difference. One of his standout achievements was the Community Care Check project. A partnership between government and charitable organisations, it showed what's possible when ministers actually collaborate rather than dictate, when they listen rather than assume. But then, as often happens with effective ministers, Carns was promoted. In September 2025, he became Minister for the Armed Forces. A natural progression, certainly, well-deserved, absolutely. But it left a crucial question hanging. Who could possibly fill those boots? Enter Louise Sandher-Jones. The MP for North East Derbyshire stepped into the role on September 6th, 2025. And here's where the government's strategy becomes crystal clear. Because Louise Sandher-Jones isn't just any MP handed a portfolio. She's a veteran herself. An Army intelligence officer who served in Afghanistan. Do you see what they've done here? This isn't a change in direction. This is doubling down on what works. This is the government saying, loud and clear, Veterans Affairs will be led by people who understand military service from the inside. Now, Sandher-Jones brings something else to the table as well. She studied Chinese at the University of Edinburgh. You might wonder what that's got to do with Veterans Affairs? But think about it. We live in an increasingly complex global environment. Defence and veterans issues don't exist in a vacuum. They're connected to international relations, to geopolitics, to understanding threats and opportunities from around the world. That combination of boots-on-the-ground experience and intellectual rigour, that's a powerful mix. But here's what really caught my attention about this transition. It's not just what the government did, it's how the veterans community has responded. Because let's be honest, change can be unsettling, especially when you've got a minister who genuinely gets it, who's built trust, who's delivering results. There's always that worry. Will the new person understand? Will we have to start from scratch? Will the momentum stall? The NCCF's response tells you everything you need to know. They've been notably positive about the transition. They've said they look forward to continued positive relations with the new minister and the Office for Veterans Affairs. Continued, not rebuilt, not re-established, continued. That word choice matters. It suggests that the foundation is solid. The relationships are mature. The partnerships are sustainable beyond any single individual. And the NCCF isn't just making polite noises either. They've actively signalled their eagerness to engage with the OVA Valor project, a flagship initiative that began under Carns. They're ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work with Sandher-Jones. That's not what you hear when a community is worried. That's what you hear when a community sees strength and continuity. So, what does all this tell us? Well, I think it tells us that the government has finally understood something crucial about veterans' affairs. It's not just another ministerial portfolio. It's not something you can parachute any competent politician into and expect results. Veterans have a unique culture. They've experienced things most of us can't imagine. They face challenges that are specific, complex, and often invisible to outsiders. And when they're dealing with the state, with bureaucracy, with policy, they need to know that the person on the other side of the table actually understands. Not in theory, in practice. By appointing 2 consecutive ministers who've served, who've deployed, who've worn the uniform, the government has done more than fill a role. They've made a statement, they've shown commitment, they've built credibility. And for the veterans community, this smooth transition, this continuity of experience and approach, is a welcome sign of stability. It's a sign that the relationship between government and veterans isn't dependent on the whims of a reshuffle or the luck of the draw. It's a maturing relationship, a sustainable one built on mutual respect and shared understanding. From Carns to Louise Sandher-Jones, 2 ministers, 2 Afghanistan veterans. One clear message: Britain's veterans deserve leaders who've walked the walk. And right now, that's exactly what they've got. This has been Exposure Magazine, the podcast for the nuclear community. For more in-depth analysis and reporting, visit us at exposure.press.
Thank you for joining us today as we bring Exposure Magazine to life. Like, subscribe and share for more great podcasts.